Hello, welcome to Theater Thursdays, Episode 2. My name is Terry Weber. I am a retired theater professor from UT after 31 years of teaching in the Department of Theater. And I had the privilege in 2015 to play the role of Peter Quince in the Clarence Brown's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. So I've been asked to talk a little bit about that experience and what it was like to play Peter Quince. Here goes. So to set up the scene, Peter Quince is one of 6 blue-collar workers who Shakespeare refers to as the rude mechanicals, who have been engaged to perform a play on the occasion of the wedding of the Duke and Duchess, along with a couple of other couples who are also getting married at the time. So these regular guys, these blue-collar workers, the rude mechanicals, have to be the entertainment at the weddings of a whole bunch of really important people. So what are some of the challenges facing an actor trying to create one of these rude mechanicals? I think the main challenge is to avoid the impulse to try to be funny. Another challenge for an actor trying to create one of the rude mechanicals is that, okay, you're an actor, you know how to act, but you're trying to play a character who has never acted before, yet needs to act really well, because if the play stinks, you don't know how the Duke and Duchess are going to react. It could be a matter of life and death. So you have to act well, but you don't know how. Well, that's a challenge for an actor. Okay, so how did I try to overcome some of these challenges in specifically creating Peter Quince? Well, the first thing was to try to connect honestly to that high-stakes objective. Here's this regular guy with a bunch of his friends who are also just regular guys in a situation where it's fun, it's exciting, it's different, it's new, but it's also potentially dangerous. If we are chosen to do this play in front of the Duke and Duchess and the other couples, we have to do really well, but we don't really know what we're doing. But maybe we think we do. So there's that. There's a sense that, okay, we can do this. We can write this script. We can play these roles of Pyramus and Thisbe and the Wall and the Lion and the Moonshine. We can do this. We can work together and we can rehearse and we can figure it out. So it's connecting imaginatively to that high stakes objective. And Peter Quince is sort of the director, sort of the stage manager. So there's that sense that, all right, my objective is to make sure that everybody's doing their job, make sure that everybody's doing the best they can, make sure everybody's there on time, ready to go, and just sort of coordinating this group of crazy guys that are a little bit unpredictable. Okay, so I've connected to this high-stakes objective that is truthful within the imaginative circumstances. So now it's time to trust Shakespeare, trust the director, trust my fellow actors who have also connected to this world of the play, trust the designers to create the comedy. Because remember, Peter Quince is not trying to be funny. So the first thing is to use the words that Shakespeare gives you. And also in this case, and we're looking at the first monologue that Peter Quince uses to open the play, the prologue, it's also important to look at the punctuation that Shakespeare gives you. Because as we'll see, it's in this punctuation that much of the comedy is going to be created. Okay, so looking at the text of the prologue, we see that if you look at the first 2.5 lines and sort of ignore the punctuation, first of all, that Shakespeare has given you, it's a complete thought. If we offend, it is with our good will that you should think we come not to offend, but with good will. However, Peter Quince is nervous. He forgets the phrasing. He knows the lines, but he's not quite sure what he's saying. So if you play the punctuation Shakespeare gives you, we see that it's, if we offend, it is with our good will. That you should think we come not to offend, but with good will. And if you go down the rest of the speech, you'll see other instances like that without the punctuation, it makes sense in one way, and with the punctuation, it makes sense in another way, or doesn't make sense at all. So then I had to think a little bit about the physical characterizations of Peter Quince. Now, he doesn't actually play a part in Pyramus and Thisbe. He's just the narrator. But he's not used to public speaking, he's not used to acting, so he really doesn't know what to do with his hands. And that's actually a question that a lot of young actors, and experienced ones as well, still have to deal with. So, on the assumption that Peter Quince had at least seen some actors who perhaps were doing some very dramatic things with their hands, he decided he might do something like that, but since he's not very confident with it, I came up with a little bit of a psychological gesture for Peter Quince, which is a little bit like this. One last challenge I had in creating the character of Peter Quince. The costume designer drew my character with a mustache. So, bit of advice. If you can, always grow a real one if you need a mustache for your character. Trying to act with a fake mustache is no fun. Hey, thanks for sharing this time with Clarence Brown Theater. Bye-bye.